Hello, everyone. Shala here. This time, we are very honored to have the actor, the singer, the artist, the one and only Mr. Raymond Lauchengco.
Hey, Shallow. Thank you for having me, and thank you for that very kind introduction. It's
Oh,
great to finally meet you.
yes. And thank you so much for doing this for us. So, my first question, who was your musical influences back in the 80s when you were just starting?
Oh, can I go beyond the 80s? Because
Beyond.
I've
Yeah,
had
no, I
so
mean,
many,
like when you were young, yeah, yeah, they
yeah,
could
yeah,
be
yeah.
anyone
I've
from
had,
any era.
yeah, I've had so many musical influences in my life. I started singing when I was 11.
Mm-hmm.
I was a choir boy. And so, because I was part of the choir of a Catholic school, I fell in love with church music, sacred classical music. And so I thought I was going to become a classical singer. But then I started to do theater musicals. And when I became a stage actor, I fell in love with the music of Broadway and the West
Mm-hmm.
End, show tunes, because of the stories that they told. And then when I started to sing pop when I was 18, when I recorded my first album, I guess the strongest influence at that time was Barry Manilow.
Oh, yeah.
Because not only did he sing the songs of my youth, he would capture, emotions like falling in love and heartbreak and yearning and all of those emotions. I just wanted to be a balladeer like him. And then through the years, there have been many others. I fell in love with big band jazz and Tony Bennett.
Yeah.
Uh, I enjoy Michael Bublé very much. Bruno Mars, Ed Sheeran. So it never stops. The music, uh,
Mm-hmm.
the taste evolves.
Yeah. Mm. So, how do you look after your voice? Is there some kind of daily, ritual that you do, or is there something special that you do before a show?
Not really. I just try to get as much vocal rest as
Mm-hmm.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm never gonna go out the day before a show. If it's a really big, difficult, challenging show that I'm doing, I'm going to stop talking for 2 or 3 days prior.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
vocal rest is
Yeah.
very, very important to me. That's really my secret. Vocal rest, and of course, anything that's bad for the body. So don't do anything that's bad for the body. In other words,
Yes. Now, this might be a tough one. What is your favorite song? Um, it can be old, can be new. What's the ultimate favorite song of yours?
that's not difficult,
Oh,
Shello.
okay.
That's impossible. It's impossible to answer that question because there are just so
But
many.
I'm sure at least one song came to mind.
Well, it kind of like changes every day. I
Yeah.
mean, almost every day, every week, I have a new favorite. I'm working now on the repertoire of my next major concert
Mm-hmm.
in Manila. So I'm revisiting all of these songs. I'm doing a tribute to Generation X. So I'm looking back at all the songs that shaped Generation X, and there are just so many. We've only just begun. Got to believe in
Yeah.
magic,
Yeah.
electric dreams,
Mm-hmm.
uh, footloose, just got lucky. Oh, so many of them. So many of them. I'm sorry to Gen Z. I apologize to Generation Alpha, but our music was the best.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not ashamed of it. So whenever I do a show nowadays, especially when I started performing again after the pandemic happened, because I couldn't sing for almost 3 years. The pandemic happened, but now that I started singing again, it
Mm-hmm.
was going to be tons of 80s music in my show. Plus, a sprinkling of Broadway, perhaps, because I enjoy Broadway songs very, very much. And of course, my hits will always be there.
Mm-hmm.
And the music that shaped me. I like singing a lot of Barry Manilow songs as well.
Okay. So speaking of, what is the next for your career? What's the plan? Immediate future or maybe long time? What else do you want to do?
What else do I want to do? I just want to keep on. I just want to keep on singing
Mhm.
for as long as I can. One of my idols is Tony Bennett,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
he was singing until he was what, 95 perhaps.
Yeah.
So if God wills it, if God allows it, I would like the same for my life and my career.
Hmm. And a bit off topic from music. I know you've got a book. Can you tell us what it's about and what made you write it?
Yes, I just we published my first book late last year
Mm-hmm.
to coincide with my 60th birthday.
Hmm.
Um, the title of the book is Dance with the Wind, and the book kind of wrote itself. Um, you see, what happened when the pandemic happened. I don't know how it was in Perth, in Australia, but here in the Philippines, it was pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
we had the longest lockdown
Mm.
in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, we hold the record for the longest lockdown. It was crazy. So life as I knew it, life as a majority of Filipinos knew it to be, ceased to exist.
Mm.
And on my end, I could not perform. There were no events. I couldn't direct, I
Mm.
couldn't host, I couldn't sing because all of these things were.
Were prohibited. Yeah.
What happened was I turned to making art, functional art, sculpture,
Mhm.
etc., etc. I turned to making art, working with my hands, as a way to survive. My morale drops. I lost all of this work, all of these opportunities, all of these hopes and dreams, just like millions of other
Exactly.
Filipinos, finds a way to become productive.
Mm-hmm.
And so I chose to be as productive as possible, and I started to work with my hands. At the time, all I had was an old hammer, a very rusty saw, and a couple of chisels. But I started to make things.
Yeah.
And the amazing thing is that I ended up coming up with about more than 150 pieces of artworks.
Wow.
And I ended up photographing them because I'm also a photographer. And
Mhm.
people started to ask, when they saw the things that I made on social media, uh, they said, "Can we buy them? Are they for sale?" At first, I was very shy about it. I found it embarrassing. I didn't think it was a good idea to sell the pieces. I just made them, to keep myself happy. But then people said, "Why don't you sell them?
Mm.
And why don't you, give part of the proceeds to your colleagues who have lost work just like you have?" And so I said, "Okay, I can do that." So I did one online exhibit and it sold out. I did another one, it sold out. I did making about 4 or 5 pieces a month.
Mm.
And that went on for almost 3 years. And so eventually I started to write
Mhm.
stories about each and every piece. And
Mhm.
because it was so quiet during the pandemic, I could hear my inner voice so clearly. So I
Mhm.
started writing and journaling. And all of these things I put together, all of the photographs of my favorite pieces, the stories, the reflections, the insights, the introspection in a book. And the book is called Dance with the Wind. Why Dance with the Wind? Because I thought I could fight the storm. I thought I could
Yeah.
control it. I realized I couldn't. So I figured if I can't control the wind, I might as well just learn how to dance with it and embrace it. So that's what I did,
Yeah,
and
very
that
poetic
became
as
a
well.
book.
Mm. Wow, I was actually gonna ask you what other hidden talents you have, but it seems like you've covered that already. So, that was good.
I love art, cello. I love art,
Mm.
whether it's performing art
Mm.
or that was the most amazing thing because I had no idea I could do that.
Yeah.
And nothing beats the feeling of starting something from
Mm.
scratch,
Yeah.
and then 2 or 3 days or maybe weeks or maybe a couple of months later, you can hold it in your hands and you can look at it and you can
Mm.
proudly say, this is something that I made, and there's only one of these things in the entire world.
Yeah.
So the amount of pride and the amount of fulfillment that gives you is awesome.
And the fact that people loved it and bought it. I think
I
that
know, I
yeah.
know. I'm I still can't believe it. I still can't believe it.
Yeah. Well, time went so fast. Thank you so much for doing this interview again. We are so looking forward to your concert here in Perth. So, can you please invite everyone watching um, about the concert? Tell us the details.
On August 29th, it'll be my first show in Adelaide. That's going to be at the Grand Ballroom of called Tappies. Okay,
Mhm.
that's 443 Tappies. And then I go to Sydney. That's September 4 at the West HQ Ambassador. All right. And on Perth, I'll be there the next day on September 5. So it'll be a Saturday at 7 p.m. at the Swan Italian Sporting Club. That's at number 9 Francis Street, Middle Swan. For tickets, please feel free to call Irma 0415-355885 and my good friend, my dear, dear friend, Alan College, who I love. So I'll see you at the show, Jello.
Yes, I'll see you there.
Okay.
All right.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
Raymond.